morning.
How are you, Mr.
I'm
Blaise Ackom?
I'm doing well yourself.
I'm well, thank you. All right, so I was just taking our listeners through our conversation yesterday. We
Yeah,
touched on how, first of all, what is cervical cancer, how
yeah,
you can get it, the
yeah,
signs that you would see when you first get it. We talked
yeah,
about the vaccination, we talked
yeah,
about pap smears, we talked
yeah,
about how expensive the vaccinations are and where you can go to get it, whether you're
yeah,
sexually active or not.
yeah.
And so today, where do we continue?
Okay, so first of all, let me say hi to all your listeners. Today I just wanted to talk about religion and how it affects cancer treatment, especially cervical cancer. In recent times, looking at the number of diagnoses that comes with the condition, when you take about 100 of them who present to the hospital with cervical cancer, you get about 90% coming in the advanced stage, and most of them spend most of their times on in prayer camps when they get the condition after they've been declared that they are positive of it, and they'll be seeking for God's help, forgetting that they have to visit the nearest hospital so that treatment can commence. So all these people end up dying at that stage, and it's something which is really affecting a lot of women as we are talking now. Some herbal people too are also saying that they have medications that can cure cervical cancer. So most of these our women decide to go there after they are being diagnosed to rather seek help over there, and it's really making treatment very difficult for these people. They'll end up spending most of their times in at homes, and then present to the hospital later. And by the time they come, nothing can be done for you. It's only palliative care that will be done for you to relieve you of your signs or symptoms, but the disease itself, it cannot be cured. Mm.
All right, so what do you suggest in this case that, okay, I believe that we have lost Nurse Blaise Acom, but we're going to get him back on the line. He's talking about the role that religion is playing in recent times when it comes to cancer. A lot of people, after seeing the signs, instead of getting the help they need from the hospital, they were sought rather to churches and prayer camps. And by the time they come to the hospitals, it's rather too late and they may not get the help they need. So it becomes a dire situation where, in the end, they lose their lives. So I believe that what Nurse Blaise is talking about this morning is that at the earliest sign of anything, okay, whether cancer, whether any form of any other disease, the minute you realize that you're not feeling the way you would normally feel, your first point of contact should be to go to the hospital and see what's going on. All right, Ness Blaze, we lost you for a
Yes,
minute.
yes,
Yes.
yes, yes,
So please
yes.
let's continue the conversation.
Yes, yes. So it's really something which is affecting a lot of these our women who decide to seek help at the various prayer camps or churches, and even at some herbal points. So it's something which is a barrier, and at times too we have one barrier that most religions too don't want their wives. Most husbands does not want their wives to come to the hospital to go naked for a doctor or a nurse to screen them. So people just decide that no, I will not get myself involved in this because the screening procedure is a whole naked thing, and it's preventing certain people from some religions from partaking in these screening procedures. And at the end of the day, they will be affected with this cancer. And by the time they realize it has gotten to the advanced stage. So this has been something that we've been advocating for, that we'll all get involved, try to create awareness, try to let some of our religious leaders know that whenever someone presents a case of cancer to your church, you should advise the person to go to the hospital for treatment. And if you deal in herbal, try as much as possible. Whenever you get those kind of cases, you tell the person to go to the nearest hospital for treatment. I quite remember just recently, about 2 weeks ago, I was trying to help someone undergo a treatment on breast cancer. we did all the procedures. It was not like for her to start a treatment. So later I got to know that I called this woman to check whether she has been able to visit the hospital to commence with chemotherapy. And he said he has seen one herbal doctor who has given her a gallon of herbal medications to take. And she has made a deposit of 10,000 Ghana cedis at the initial stage. So this person, the chances of this person even surviving is even small because she will wait at that particular point in time and it gets to advantage and she will now start to go to the Kolebu Teaching Hospital where little can be done for you. So it's something we need to still create awareness and let people know. And we must let people know that cancer itself or cervical cancer is not caused by witchcraft. People believe that because of where the condition is, usually we believe that it's maybe our grandparents or someone somewhere who does not love us, who is doing those kind of things to us. But we want to just create that perception that there's none of that sort. It's transmitted through the sexually transmitted infection called the HPV and other risk factors like smoking and douching that we made mention of.
All right, thank you, Nurse Blaze. We really appreciate this education. I believe also that maybe if we can spread the education to churches, where, as part of a sermon on a Sunday, a little time can be dedicated to educating, especially the women in these churches, that when you have cancer or when you're diagnosed with a certain stage of cancer, first of all, it's not a death sentence, and also it is not witchcraft. If you start treatment early, there is a chance that you will survive. So we really appreciate you giving us this very vital information. We'll
Thank you.
definitely reach out again tomorrow to continue this
Sure,
conversation.
sure,
Thank you
sure, sure.
so
Thank you
much.
too.
All
Thank
right.
you too.
So you just had